What's up, guys? Welcome into the Rockstarflipper YouTube channel. And I keep finding myself inside of Facebook groups and online and social media seeing people that don't know how to properly price their items, be it eBay or Posh or Amazon even. So I want to start with eBay. I'll probably do like 3 videos just so that everyone can target eBay, Posh, and Amazon. How to properly price your eBay items. So there's 3 tools that I use. One is eBay SOLDS, completed listings, the solds, and kind of comparing with the actives, what your active competition is. 2 is Sellhound.com. If you've never used the Sellhound.com website or app, it's fantastic. I'll show you a little demonstration of it in just a second. The third way, if you have the premium store or higher, I don't think basic has it, but premium or above, or if you pay for the Terapeak subscription. Terapeak is a great tool. It averages eBay, but there's also another tool that goes along with that called the sourcing guidance. So I want to go over to my computer and do a screen share and show you guys how I use eBay's comparison tools, Terapeak, the sourcing guidance along with it, the eBay sold and completed, and Sellhound to comp eBay items. Now, Poshmark and Amazon are each a little different, so I'll do a separate video on each of those. But let's go ahead and jump over to eBay. I'll show you how to properly price the item, and this hopefully will explain to everyone why your Beanie Babies and your VHSs are not worth $15,000. But we'll actually learn how each item has a range of prices and how some are higher, some are lower. There's a ton of variables and factors that affect it. So it's just gonna be easier if I show you instead of tell you. So let's jump over there and look at it. Okay, so this is Terapeak, and basically it's just under research, and then you can just click Terapeak product research. And what this does is allow you to pull average sale prices and sell-through rates for items. So you notice you can search by different countries. We're just gonna stick with ebay.com, and you can do 7-day, 30-day, 90-day, 365, or custom. So it's totally up to you. I always like to do 90-day to get an idea of what it's selling for the most recent. I don't feel like 7 days gives you enough. 30 days is okay, but we'll do 90 days for now. And let's just go ahead and look up one of our favorites, right? So Tommy Bahama men's shirt. And let's say that you're trying to figure out what to price an extra large at, right? So we go ahead and search, and it's going to give us the results. And so you just scroll down here, and it's going to show us solds from 90 days ago, November 21st through February 18th. Now, a little bit of this will be skewed at this time frame because it was during Christmas, but for the most part, it should be okay. So we have a $21.21 average sold price for extra large Tommy Bahama shirts. We didn't do polos, we didn't do button downs, we didn't do anything. So the sold price range was between 97 cents and $227.50. So that's the low and that's the high, the average being 21. Now the average shipping was $6.06. This is the average shipping cost paid by the buyer. This average doesn't include listings with free shipping. So this means everyone who charged shipping, this is the average amount they charged for it. Now, free shipping is 38% of all items. So almost 40% sell with free shipping, 60+% sell with charged shipping. So that gives you a little idea. Now, some items are free, some items are not. Some items will be like 70% free versus 30. So you kind of can look at that and get an idea of how many are selling. Now, the total number, this is, of course, 5,163, and total sellers were 2,827. So on average, about everyone, two shirts, everyone's selling. So you can get an idea, the 5,163 divided by the total number gave them that $21.21 average sale price. Now you can scroll down and you can see all the different types of shirts. Now what's crazy is if we come up here and we do Tommy Bahama men's button down shirt extra large, well, now we get a 1942. Let's do button up shirts and see what we find. And we get a 1976. Now what we didn't do was advanced searched used pre-owned. So let's go ahead and search that number. And now we find that Tommy Bahama men's button-up shirts are averaging $17.35. Same shipping costs, give or take, same free shipping, a little more free. Total number of sold in 90 days is 348 extra large used Tommy Bahama men's button-up shirts. So if we just do men's shirts, we find 3,600 of them, a little less on the free, and about a 1756 just looking at used. Now the problem is it's taking the average across all. Now, if you find somebody that has an awesome shirt, which is this one, do you guys see this shirt right here? Tommy Bahama weekends, weekday, whatever, relaxed black shirt sold for $45. And you can see it. It's hard to see it, but you can see that it had a cool palm tree design on it. Let me see if I can find one that's clickable that sold for a high price so you guys can get an idea of why you can't always go off of the Terapeak price, because if you have something unique, then you have to price it accordingly. So one of those, look, 227 was because somebody sold a lot of 14 of them, right? So none of these are really clickable, but if you saw one that's priced pretty high, like that $45 one that we just saw. Also, there was another one I saw here about in the $30 range. I was trying to see it again. Yeah, here's one that sold for $38.41, and this one had some cool designs on it. Now, I can't open this one, unfortunately. Some of these are clickable, but some are not. I mean, this one did well for $27.20, I suppose. Let's see if it'll let me take a look at it. No, we don't want to see the seller's original items. Let's see the original listing. And so this one was okay. This one didn't do too bad for it being an extra large relax. I think it's because of the color. Coral salmon color tends to do pretty well. They still only got about $27 for that shirt. You can see the majority of these shirts. Here's a $30 one, a $25 one. Most of these are in the $25-$30. Here's one that got $36 total, and you could see it has pineapples and whatnot on it. I can't click on it, but you have to take this sort of with a, okay, what does mine look like versus what does everything else look like? And there's another one, $40, again, because it had tropical beach tiger palms on it. It had something. Most of your shirts are not going to be $30, $35, $40. They're going to be $20 to $25. So you have to take that into consideration when selling these. In fact, a lot of them are going to be less for extra large. And of course, you can do this for any item, used or otherwise. And this is how, if you're going to use Terapeak, you would learn to price the items. Now, the second thing we're going to learn to do it on is the eBay Seller Hub. Now, the Seller Hub is, again, under Research Sourcing Guidance, right? And that's where we want to go, get sourcing guidance. So we're going to go to our Seller Hub, Research Sourcing Guidance. Now, this allows you to choose any item, not just clothes. And you can do the same on Terapeak, any item. It doesn't have to be clothes. And you can get an idea of what an item will sell for. So if we go down to clothing, and let's say we're looking up the same men's clothing shirt, we're going to look at shirts. We're going to look at casual button downs, right? Okay, new and used. And then it tells you the best months. So casual button downs, obviously the best during spring and summer, right? So March, April, they start going up around March and April. They peak out in the middle of summer, May, June, and July. And then they start coming back down right after August to the fall. And then they fall where we are now in its lowest point. So 70% of all men's casual button downs sell for 20 or less, and 30% between 20 and 100. Very, very few shirts sell for over 100 in the used thing. If you switch it to new, you'll get a little bit better of a ratio. We can just see where it's 55, 43, and 2%. But we're going to stick with these used, and we're going to look at Tommy Bahama. So it will tell us the top 10 selling brands through sell-through right now. Travis Matthews, Untuckit, Lacoste, Under Armour, Vineyard Vines, Cool, Patagonia, Harley, Southern Tide, and Rain Spooner. Now, they get a growth opportunity score. And if you click on this, this score represents how easily eBay thinks you can sell more of an item within a category. We'll look at recent solds and compare them to current inventory and predicted demand. This is not based on what's the best price. This is based on supply and demand, that it can outperform the category. It's not taken as a guarantee of selling. The higher the score, the higher the potential. We look at listings that have been active for at least 10 days, and we take into account the number of items currently on our site, the number of sold items the past 60, and the seasonality of the category. So this is based on how quickly they're selling. So for example, if an item has got 1,000 active and one a day are selling, it's not going to appear on this list. However, Travis Matthew might have 1,000 active and a couple hundred a day selling. So it'd be a really good score. I don't know their algorithm or how they do the math exactly, but that's how it works. Okay, so we scroll down. Let's find Tommy Bahama. Okay, so we get Tommy Bahama. We check the box and hit apply. And their growth opportunity score is 60, which isn't bad. 62 is in the top 10, you can see. So this would make Tommy Bahama about in the top 15. It's not bad. Now we know we have an extra large shirt, right? So we're just going to scroll down and find our X large and apply that. And the average used extra large shirt is $21.04. Now, just like we saw over here on Terapeak, Now we didn't search casual button down, but we got a 1756, right? If we had just done casual button down, which if we go ahead and search for Tommy Bahama men's button shirt, our price difference should come up a little bit. And actually it went down, $16.90. That's crazy. So Terapeak, oh, that's in the last 90 days. So let's do the last 30 because that gross search is showing us the last 60 days. So we're at a 1662 here. Oh, and then plus the shipping. So yeah, so this is like 21. Shipping costs aren't included in the sold price. I forgot to mention that to you guys. So that's why we're seeing. So this is correct. 1662 plus 595 is 21, 22 and change. And if we look down here, we're seeing 2104. So the average sale price, because this is all in, this includes shipping on the sourcing guidance. This does not include shipping on the Terapeak. You have to add these two together. And then if you look, you got sleeve length, style. We can sort it by whatever you want, but you can see that these are worth about $21 to $22 depending on where you're looking. So you know when you buy a Tommy Bahama used button-down shirt, unless it's really special, expect to get about $21, $22. And that's how you can use these two tools to figure out a good price. Now, let me show you guys the third tool, which is just going to be Sellhound, and then the fourth tool, which is going to be our eBay sold. So let's jump on over to my iPad because it's faster to do it that way, and I'll show you guys the second part of how to price your items correctly. Okay, so next we're going to take a look at Sellhound. It's sellhound.com. They do have an app, so you can download the app if you want. I use the website a lot because I'm usually on my my MacBook, but they also have a listing tool, which you can check out. It's kind of like a virtual assistant VA tool where you submit the information, the photos, etc., and they take care of the listing. So something else to take a look at. But let's go ahead and just show you again. I'm going to stick with the same item that we've done before for comparison reasons. Tommy Bahama men's shirt, extra large button down. Let's just do that, right? So you can search, make sure you have used, of course, and it's going to give you actually a comparison tool, which is very, very cool. It's going to show us most of the items on, or the most recent 100 items on multiple platforms. So if we take a look over at what it's showing for eBay, it is showing that the current listed price is $27.29. This is all in, guys. It's going to include everything. And that the sold is about $26.19. So they're actually showing a little higher than that $22 price that we saw over on Terapeak and the sourcing guidance. Now, the reason is this is only showing the most recent 100 products, which you can see right there. Now, the problem with this is it is accurate on those 100, but let's say that 98 of these listings sold for that $20, $21, $22 mark, right? Or some of them at 15 and some of them at 25 to 30 to give us that 21, 22 average. It can be skewed a little bit because if somebody was to have sold a $100 shirt or a $150 shirt inside of 100 products, that's going to skew the average. Over 1,000 items like the Terapeak or whatever does in, they had 3,300 listings over 90 days. That $150 shirt or that lot of 227 that we saw can't really skew the average all that bad. It messes with it a little bit, but when you're only looking at 100 items, Sellhound will be skewed more by an awkward or odd item. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so Macari sold showing 14, current at 26. So not really as many rolling through. Now you can also scroll down and see that Posh is at a 23 sale and a 28.35 average. Now they're only showing you 48 products. I'm not really sure why it's not showing 100. I'm certain there's more than 100 sold on Posh. Now, over on Etsy, it's $28.88 with only 10 products showing. They have Grailed, 0 sold, and 55 listed with 6. And Tradesy, 1 item sold for $34. Now, you can see it's a little higher because that particular item that sold at $34, we can go ahead and skip that, was an actual checkered button down, which is a little bit weird for Tommy Bahama, so somebody bought it. But long story short, you can click and you can actually see all the shirts that sold on the eBay site. So you guys can see the reason it's higher. Look, there's a $75 grapefruit leaf. Do you see how that shirt, if we click on it, it's going to open eBay for us. We're going to scroll down, sold from Minneapolis. We can see the original listing. And this shirt actually sold for $70 plus $5.50 because it's very, very rare, right? So that most recent 100 have had some really good items in them that are not plain, and so that's causing that average sell price to be a little higher. So keep that in mind when you're looking at something like Sellhound. So that is your third tool, sellhound.com, which you have to be a little bit careful of how many it's doing in the average, but it's not far off. 26, 27. You can expect 22, maybe even 23 as an average, and if you've got some of those better ones, expect to get 30 plus. So there you go, sellhound.com. Okay, finally we're here on eBay and the sold listings, which is probably your best bet. You have to scroll through, so it's not quite as quick as the other ones, but it's going to give you a more accurate look. So I just went ahead and typed in men's Tommy Bahama button-down shirts, extra large, of course, and it's under used. I filtered it by solds, and we can see the most recent. Today's February 18th, 2020. So we see one here that sold for $25. Now it has some designs on it. So it's not great designs, but it's better than just a normal plain Jane shirt. We have a Hawaiian one here that sold for only all in about $15.50, $15.57. So not great. We have one here that's short sleeve that sold for $30. Now some of the short sleeve ones tend to do better. Some of them don't. Now we have one here that is actually selling for about $20.50. Here we have a rare one with a rare color design, combo palm trees, $33 almost. Come back down here to about $12.25 short sleeve again. If we scroll through, we're going to see a lot of these $20, $15 to $20 shirts, just like I told you. And so we have one here. It's an embroidered one. It was up for $33 with $5.50 shipping. They took a best offer. We can assume they took about $25, $26 and plus their $5.50. So they got about $30 for that shirt, give or take. We see some more and see if we filter this by the sleeve length, which let's say that we're going after those short sleeve Tommy Bahama shirts, which is really what most of them are. We get a lot of the price ranges. So, I mean, it's, there's 23, there's 26, there's 20, there's a 13-ish, there's a 35, there's a 25, a 25, 15 and a half, 16. Now that one's surprises me that it has a better design and only got $16. So then we have one underneath of that for $29. 13 and 7 is 20 plus the change, about 21, 22. Again, a 22, 28, a 25. So you guys can see most of these are in the mid 20s. There's a 25, there's a 27.77 with best offer. There's a 36, but it has a martini glass design on it. So that's why they got more for it. We scroll down, we've got some more, 15, 22s, 25 and 5, 26. So you'll get a really good idea. Here's a good one, sold for right around $30. I'm surprised it didn't get more. If you have a rare design, rare thing, it's going to be 30 or more. If you don't, expect 25, 20 to 25, and in some cases less. So this would be a shirt that your maximum price for plain Jane and normals would be about $5. You don't really want to pay more than 5 and sell it for 20. That's 15 profit, but after you buy your label and your fees, you're looking at about $9 to $10. You don't want to go any less than that. If you happen upon one that's got a better design, then you can sell for 30, less your 5 is 25 profit, less your fees and shipping leaves you about 18, 19. Much better than 20, about $10 more. So just keep that in mind as you look through every single item. Here's one, another embroidered, which we can see the original listing, Hawaiian, pretty good. It's $32.77. Just keep in mind when you're listing that you have multiple tools. You have the eBay solds, you have Sellhound, you have Terapeak if you're paying for the store premium or better, and you have the sourcing guidance. Use these tools to learn pricing. At some point, you'll become experienced enough where this will become second nature to you, and you'll be able to look at an item and say, wow, I've sold that one in the past for X. I know kind of what it's worth. I can buy it. And if it's borderline, I do it all the time. Like, I know that Tommy Bahama shirts are supposed to be, I'm supposed to pay $2, $3 for them, $4. If I see one that's $5 or $6, then I'll quickly look it up and I'll be like, well, let's see what the current trend is. Because remember, the prices go up and down. I'll double check, what the seasonality is. Just a really quick search and say, okay, do I think I'm going to get 20 or do I think I'm going to get closer to 30 right now, basing it off the season, the design, the size, just all these things. If I'm having to pay $6 or $7 and it looks like, well, right now everything's selling for 20, no, I'm probably going to pass on that one. But if it looks like everything's, fluctuating towards that $25 or $30 price, okay, then I can go ahead and grab it. But that's pretty much what you do with every item until you learn that item top to bottom. And you will, once the experience happens, you'll learn them. So those are four tools that you can use to properly price your items and get average. You can use them for shoes, for clothing, for hard goods, for electronics, for anything that you want to use them for. Some are better than others for certain topics and categories. Some are better for everything. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you're a beginner, I hope this helps you a lot. If you're an expert and advanced, this can still be useful to you because there's a lot of great tools out there to price items. Appreciate you guys watching. Thanks as always. Make sure you do hit the subscribe button. I'm going to have a lot more great content in 2020 coming for you, and I hope that you don't miss those videos. Until next time, have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you then.